What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, and today I got a VOD review for you guys from regionals in houses. These are the best players in North America playing against each other to try to get better because we got regionals this weekend coming up really quickly. So all of them are prepping very hard. Not too many players have been streaming them, but Dish Soap streamed some of these, so I thought we would give it a quick look to see what Mr. Dish Soap is doing because, you know, he is someone that many people are going to be watching at regionals. One of the people that is widely known as one of the best in TFT, sort of in the top 3 tier with Setsuko and Wejin Iverson and, you know, maybe Replay if he can break in. I mean, that it's not really a top 3, it's a top 4, but who's to say? Pretty interesting start already. We hit Jinx shows in here, and we have Vi too. So either way, we're going to have a really strong opener here. It looks like he's already pretty hesitant here to even pick up the Jinxes to go for another Jinx. This is something... Why does Dish Soap... Does someone know why Dish Soap does this? He leaves these orbs open here. I saw him do this in one of his other... Oh, wait, no, I still don't get it. I don't get it. Why does he do that? I guess he thought it worked with component buffet, because it looked like he was going for some giga tech there where it works with component buffet and it guarantees you that you can pick what those items are, but that just didn't work. So I don't know, it looked like maybe someone told him a secret tech, but it is not a secret tech. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. In any case, we have this Punk opener here for Punk. Not a bad start here. We don't really have Punk items is the thing, so I don't think we're gonna opt to actually play Punk here, but it can be a pretty strong opener for sure. So I think we can hang out in this opener for a little while, eventually pivot into something else. We have this Olaf too, which is interesting. We're gonna have to start selling some stuff soon because we can't just sit here with this incredibly expensive bench, but we'll figure it out. You know, it's Dish Soap. He'll figure it out for sure. Though I'm kind of curious what it does evolve into, because it doesn't really, like, these units we're holding don't really make sense with what we got going on right now. We have a Gunblade slammed already and Adaptive going for frontline, so to me it certainly looks like we're angling Kale here. Adaptive Helm is just going to be for the Mordekaiser later, and then we have Gunblade plus half of Rod for the Kale. Ideally going to get a bow off Carousel here because we've already lost a few, but even if we don't, we have the Component Anvil so that we can guarantee BIS. Ooh, we could even go Spat here and have Pentakill Spat, except we can't because it gets taken away. Yeah, all the item components we really want to get taken away here, so I assume we're just going to take Frontline here. Chain Vest here. Ooh, Tier, actually. Tier Seraphine. I mean, I guess it could be Tier. Maybe it's just Tier. It's Tier for, like, Protector's Vow, actually. I forgot that we already had this Chain Vest. Okay, so I would think it's just Tier for Protector's Vow for the Mordekaiser, get a cast off relatively quickly, and he is holding onto this Olaf as well just to play into that same idea, though it's too expensive at this point to hold, right? Yeah, I mean, you could either sell that or you could, like, sell the Twitch and drop it at a 4 Punk or something, but that's pretty expensive. So yeah, it's a pretty hard angle here for the Kale board, but I mean, Kale, a very strong reroll comp right now. We have an augment that'll allow us to force basically anything because we can guarantee our items. This is a little bit of a scary spot. We are stuck level 4 here. I guess you could level, but we don't really have anything to level 4. Yeah, this is rough because we'd love to win this fight. I mean, please give us the person. I think that was Rain who is raised the stakes here. If we get Rain, we'd be very happy. But I mean, yeah, we're fighting this Naruto board. It's a pretty hard fight to win, though. I guess, I mean, maybe if I had gotten another cast or 2 off on the Gnar, we could have got there, but yeah, it's just not gonna be the dub. We're gonna pre-level up here, and ooh, that is Mordekaiser pair, nothing wrong with that. It's also Riven pair here. He used his free refresh there, right? It looked like he did, just to, I mean, let me go back, and because I was in the middle of, yeah, he was 20, yeah, he used his free refresh there, or, you know, his 1 gold refresh there to look for, like, a headliner, to look for you know, potentially 2-star units, because we have Riven pair here and Mordekaiser here. I think it's really smart. The only kind of awkward thing is that we don't really have Riven items at all, so I'd be surprised if we, but I mean, we're Component Anvil, so you can make the world whatever you want it to be when you have this augment. Still no Kales yet. We do have an Ezreal here. Man, I'm pretty sure if you think about what Dishtop is actually like thinking about here in this position, his brain is going like a million miles a minute, like trying to figure out what the optimal comp is to play here. I think he's going to end up still back in Kale, because like we had the Ezreal there, but we didn't really have very good Ezreal items. We didn't really have much of anything, so like I think, you know, it makes sense what we ended up in, but I think there were a lot of different ways that could have gone last round, depending on what we would have actually hit. I feel like Crown Guard tends to be fantastic on this Mordekaiser unit. The only problem is we already have all these frontline items, but we're still going to go for it just because, yeah, it is a good augment. It looked like I saw a couple of kills that somebody had. I don't know if they were actually going for kill reroll or not. But yeah, we're just going to Crown Guard the Mordekaiser. Maybe the idea is we can put Sunfire or Redemption on somebody else and leave these as like the real tank items. And yeah, look at that. We are team building out for this board. I mean, that's just the patch for you. If you get a good angle for it, you should certainly try to play it. And it looks like he's relatively uncontested. I think someone might be holding a few just for like a board, but like not to actually play the reroll comp. So, I mean, yeah, makes perfect sense here. He's going to continue to use his punk rerolls. This is something that I forget who the first player I saw do this was, but there was someone who I saw do this, and it kind of blew my mind that you can use punk to fuel your rolls for a reroll comp that isn't punk. So he's using his 1 gold reroll every single round to try to find Chaos, to try to find Mordekaiser 2, to try to find Gnar 2, and that kind of stuff. To try to find Lilia 1, because he still doesn't have Lilia. And that's just a really, really nice way to get a 1 gold discount on your refresh every single round. So really, really good stuff there from Dish Soap. I wonder what we start building towards now, because we're done with our Mordekaiser items. We're basically done with our Kale items. We'd start looking at items for like a Viego or something like that. But yeah, I'm actually curious where the extra items end up sort of going in this position here. We finally pick up 1 Kale. We got a Seraphine in shop. We can't really play around that. We're just gonna make gold here, sell the extra Urgot here, and chill. You know, it's not a bad spot to be in by any means. It's just not an amazing spot. You know, we don't have a lot of the stuff that you would want to be guaranteed playing kill roll from the spot. The one thing that we have is fantastic items and a Mordekaiser pair, which is nothing bad. I mean, it's nothing to turn up your nose at, but it's a little bit lacking, honestly, from what you would normally want in a spot like this. We finally pick up Gnar 2, so that's at least an upgrade, though we're not going Gnar reroll, we're going Kale reroll. We definitely prefer to have more Kales than Gnars. And Kaito here was the Raise the Stakes player. My god, raise the stakes with Tiniest Titan. So he's got an extra 30 HP to work with. He has 69 HP and a ton of stacks. And he's going to get even more stacks this round. So that is a scary, scary spot. Hopefully, Dissoap looks at Kaito's board again in a little while so we can see what he ends up in. Ooh, okay. So we do end up getting the Lilia finally, which is a nice unit to pick up here. We're just going to sell our units here and look for Headliner, actually, because we don't have... We still need Kill Headliner. We have to find that on level 6, because once you go level 7, your odds of finding Kill Headliner are much lower. So yeah, we need to roll pretty deep here. That's 4 Mordekaisers, though. That is pretty nice here. And yeah, we're just going to roll here to try to pick up any takeable Headliner for our line, which it gets pretty specific once you're this far into the game. He's going to pick up Sentinel Mordekaiser here, because we are 7 Mords now with the Sentinel Mordekaiser, and we're just playing double Mordekaiser on this board. I mean, yeah, this is another variation of the comp that you can go. Also, it looks like the idea was always Sunfire onto the Gnar. He's going to hop over. It makes a lot of sense. And yeah, you can just go for a final Kale item here, right? Which is just like Bow. It's either like Winsu or GS or something like that. I don't really love any of these that much. Crash Test Dummy seems fine. Inspiring Epitaph seems solid. There's a Sentinel to pick up. Ooh, that is one. Oh my god, there's the Mordekaiser 3 just out of nothing, which is really nice. The other really cool thing is that his Headliner item is this Crown Guard. So we already have the double Crown Guard value from Crown Guarded. But yeah, this is another build that you can go with Kale, is you play around Sentinel Mordekaiser. I mean, there's also Pentakill that you can play around, but Sentinel Mordekaiser, and then you can play almost sort of like vertical Sentinel with just Kale in the background with the double Gwinsu. I feel like GS is probably fine. Kaito going up to 561 stacks. Just so please go over to his board so I can see what his cash out looks like. But yeah, and the nice thing is you don't really, someone in his chat said Kale 1, Kale 2, no diff. It's like, it's not no diff, but it's like kind of not as big a diff, because when you have this much frontline, regardless, this Kale is going to scale up. She is going to do a ton of damage. Kaito Oh my god, that was a dummy with triple locket on it. I didn't see what else he cashed out, but my god, I mean, even just the triple locket dummy is nothing to frown at. But yeah, I mean, a pretty cool flexible play from Dishtop here to say, I rolled down, I missed completely on Kale, but I found some Mordekaisers, and I'll just let Mordekaiser be my carry here. Look at the damage that he does here, 8.4k. He was nerfed this patch, by the way. He was stronger than this on the last patch. So yeah, this unit is just an absolute beast. And yeah, he's just going to carry for us, and we're just going to push levels on this instead of, like playing for Kale 3. I mean, we're way too far off Kale to play for Kale 3. We do need to find Kale 2 for sure. He's going to go for another Crown Guard here onto the Ballistic rank here. We're triple Crown Guard here. We don't really need anything like an Ionic Spark because Kale already shreds inherently. So yeah, there's no real reason to go for that. Oh, it's going to be Crown Guard. Ooh, this is sick. Crown Guard on to the Kane here. Yeah, I mean, he's a fantastic holder of this. The only thing, I mean, I guess you would want to third row him like we're doing here so that he gets the extra mana gen, as opposed to, like, he doesn't really care that much for the tank stats. So yeah, I mean, I like this a lot. And Kane, especially once we can start pushing levels, get in Viego, he's going to have Edgelord in, then he's going to be doing a ton of work. So this is a pretty cool little board that the Dishtop managed to put together, where even though he's stuck on Kale 1 playing Reroll, he is still a pretty strong board, honestly. I think this is a setup where a lot of people would be yapping. They would be like, oh my god, I low rolled so hard, I just didn't hit. But I mean, Dishtop finds a way. He sees the spot to play for this Kale 1, Kane 1 carry comp with a Mordekaiser 3 as like a tank carry. And I mean, he's doing absolute work with it. And this Mordekaiser solo frontline is doing so much. He just sits here and takes all this damage. The entire team clumps around him. He gets the ult off, and I mean, just look at the work he's putting in. 5.7k. The Kane also doing a surprising amount of work there. Yeah, very surprised that he did that much in that position. He's looking to pop off items here, actually, which is pretty interesting. I wonder what he wants to move on to. I mean, maybe he's doing this just for the optionality, right, so that you can move anything onto him. But I mean, if he thought that this was like perfect BIS, then he wouldn't go for it. So I'm curious what he's gonna go for. I mean, you could move the Redemption to someone else and put like a more like real tank item on him, but I don't know. I'm just not sure what that would even like. I feel like the Redemption's pretty solid onto him, and I like the double Crown Guard. Looks like we're looking at, okay, so he is just gonna move the Redemption back there and then look for, I mean, I guess it's Gunblade buff. I mean, there's nothing else you can do with these, right? The blue buff's gonna go, I'm not really sure where. I mean, the healing item is really nice on a Kane. The blue buff's kind of awkward, but I guess that could go into like a Viego or something. But yeah, I mean, even in a fight like this where they avoid our frontline, the Mordekaiser is inevitable. He just walks up and starts bonking. We're gonna level here just because it's sort of like on tempo here. Going to get KDA in here instead of the true damage. It looks like Dishtop really doesn't care that much about getting Edgelord in, because he could certainly play Edgelord here over KDA, but he thinks KDA is a better synergy, which, I mean, it is kind of a very, very strong synergy. KDA is like sort of completely unbalanced, honestly, in just what it does. And I mean, if we're going for KDA, then this blue buff can just become a blue buff and we can put it onto Ahri. Though it's interesting that he still hasn't slammed it. You could just put it on Seraphine for now. But yeah, he's not that interested in making it and just making it on Seraphine. Maybe he wants the optionality of putting it on someone else. I don't know who that would be, though. Rolling down here, we would love to find a Kale 2. That would be not bad whatsoever. There's an Alawian shop, but yeah, I don't really know how we're actually fitting it, and it looks like the answer is we're not. Mine's a Lilia too, so hey, that's an upgrade. And I mean, yeah, you can blue buff the Akali for sure. So yeah, I'm not really sure why we didn't put the blue buff down on Seraphine for a round. Maybe he was yapping at his chat or something, but yeah, I mean, the real craziness would be if we could get a Kane 2 on this board, but we need to stabilize on 8 first, and I think to start with, we would like to find a Kale 2-star. I feel like that would be pretty good to start with. Akali item-wise, it's KDA Akali, so there's nothing too, I don't know, you could just go like a Deathblade onto her, an IE onto her. Oh, a true damage spat. Okay, we're true damage KDA Akali, I guess. I mean, yeah, I could certainly see it. It's not like we can put true damage onto our other guy, Arcane here. So yeah, it is true damage ADA Akali with the true damage spat. What's interesting with this is you can actually, if you turn the Akali into true damage, you can pop the spat off for free. But I mean, there's nowhere we really want to pop it to be on. Like it needs to be on this Akali here. There's nowhere else it goes. So true damage KDA Akali, a pretty sick. I mean, what a creative game from Dishtop, honestly. Like this is such a cool board. It's gonna be hard probably to win the lobby because we're stuck rolling so much at 8 because we can't find Kale 2. But we're definitely gonna play for solid. I mean, these are the games I think that really showcase skill in TFT, where like this game might not be a first because we didn't high roll anything super hard, but you know, it could be like a top 4, a top 3, something like that, in a spot where like if you just closed your eyes and said, I'm rolling for Kale, I didn't hit Kale, Mort Dog, the game stinks, then, you know, like you would have gone, he would have easily gone 8th this game if he was not open to this Mordekaiser line. So really cool stuff from Dish Soap. We are going to lose another fight there, getting a little bit low, down to 16 HP, but we finally, we find the Kale 2. He's going to sell the Akali now, move the blue buff to Mordekaiser. This is going to pop off with Superfan. I mean, I guess he just doesn't want Akali? I don't know what the idea is here. I mean, obviously you'd like Ari, I guess, but I don't really understand why we sold the Akali, because we stopped ourselves from potentially hitting an Akali too. Yeah, I don't completely get the idea, but I mean, this certainly looks like the board that he wanted to go for here. He gets into the Ari. Now going to move items off of the Kayn. Going to play true damage Ari here. Move some of these items over to Lulu. Doesn't get the Adapticone down for start of combat, which is pretty scary, but we're still going to win this fight. It looks like, yeah, the Lucian can't get through us. And this, surely this, it just barely does not certify a top 4 here. But yeah, I mean, this is a pretty cool pivot as well into this. Just get Spellweaver in as well, play around this Ari. Yeah, I mean, this is a wild game for sure, and what a cool board to end up on with. I mean, really nice Ari items, right? The Gunblade fits very well. And he did end up making triple Crown Guard onto the Mordekaiser, saying that that's his BIS in this situation. He just wants as much Crown Guard as possible with Crown Guarded. It's a lot of AP. It's just barely not enough to win that fight, but it is a top 3 for Dish Soap. He's got to fight Kaito's board here, which looks so strong. So this is probably going to be Dej from Mr. Dish Soap. But I mean, a top 3, I think a top 3 this game was fantastic. I mean, what a cool line that he played. So creative. I mean, this shows why, like I was talking about, I mean, like Dish Soap is definitely someone that I think people are going to be paying attention to, and that's why I want to watch his prep and you know, like see what he's playing in these games and these in-houses, because I mean, this game was wild, and he'll definitely be someone to watch at regionals this weekend. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch and all my other links down below. Thanks for watching.